Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Another fun-filled day. It is Thursday, so we're only one day away from TGIF. So we are enjoying the action. It's been great action. Markets are, jumping all over the place. It's been interesting. The politics is flying like not seen in a long while. I mean, this is one of the stranger, more aggressive combinations of the Democrat Party I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, they've really gone off the rails. So it's pretty entertaining in an odd, sick way. I guarantee you, it is kind of demented, but that's what they do. Anyhow, you can see how we are moving along right here. There's the Swiss. No, that's New Zealand. Let's get back to the Swiss. There it is. I was looking at New Zealand there for a second. You can see here the Swiss has moved cleanly through that channel area and it doesn't seem to want to give up. What we've been seeing overall is just a lot of uncertainty due to the inflation factor. Someone was talking about the rate of change in bonds and so forth, but they've had some fast moves because that's why they refer to them as the bond vigilantes. When they move so fast that you just can't react to it. In other words, it's because it's not a listed market, and because it's not a listed market, in other words, I guess you have to redefine, not redefine, but to clarify what a listed market is versus a non-listed market. And it's an over-the-counter market, the bond market, and that's why Bloomberg grew as a service, and they focused in on using the electronic age, to provide information on the over-the-counter market of bonds, and that was a big help. That really was. And what we have is the speed, because when it's not listed, in other words, not listed on an exchange where it's clearly able to be traded, whereas the futures are. The futures are listed, and and it's a good sized market and it does a great job and so forth. But when you look at the whole bond market moving, on an over the counter market, and it's not listed in any specific place, one moment the bid is 50, the next moment it literally can be 20, and that's a lot of distance between 50 and 20, or vice versa. It can be 50 and the next thing you know it's offered at 70. And that is an incredible distance. I've seen millions just disappear in a second, just like that. So anyway, the real question mark now is, because of inflation being kind of confirmed, starting to become accepted. We saw the 30-year jump to 155, 156 in a matter of seconds, and then now it's cooled off into that 152-ish area, 151 and change. We've talked about, and interest rates do govern currencies, not as much as they used to, but they do control the flow. It's a major variable that was always used in currencies to make a decision to be long it or short it. All right, I think I've explained that out. Now let's go over to the chat line and see if anybody's visiting Doc this morning. Let's check and see. Will you be my friend? Nope, I don't see anybody on the chat line at the moment. And so, it's we'll just keep on rolling along until someone cares. All right. So there's the Swiss. You can see it on J4X down below. Where's that mouse at? There it is. You can see on J4X down below, it's been a lot of green hinkies going on. And you can see the white line has cleanly pierced the slow. Or the fast white line has pierced the slow dashed line, and so the strength is there. And then you can see up on Chicago Quant, same situation where it's been pierced since here, and that's the buy right there. I guess we should throw that in. Thought it was in there, but it's not, obviously. Like that. And so you can see that strength over the last 4 days, going on a 5th day now, and at the same time it has, not only did it jump across the channel that we've been following for over a year, it started, and we've only been following this green line like 3 months. We've been following this downward channel that was developing since back in June, I guess it is. So it's like most of June, July, August, September, and now we're going into October. And it kind of was respected by it. And then all of a sudden, when inflation right here was kind of clarified by the Federal Reserve, finally, after all these months, remember back here, we started talking about it. In June, he announced that inflation was transitory. And he used that concept. And you can see it kind of started to develop a downward channel. We started spotting it somewhere around in here. And I think the first one was there, and it was kind of hesitant, and then it moved back up, and we saw that, it broke there, and then we reset the green line here, and then we started following it that way. Still, we knew that there was some type of downward channel going on, and then obviously in here is where he confirms there is inflation. And so it altered this long channel that we've been following for, I guess we've been watching it for a while. Somewhere in here it started to develop, broke underneath it, we thought it was over with, then we noticed that it became something that climbed back up to, played with it, fell, and then climbed back up again. So then we kept on paying attention to that channel because it looked like it was something meaningful. Because we know that they trade in channels and envelopes. We know that much about the currencies at this point. And we don't know that solely because the U.S. Treasurer, the head of the Treasury, like Mrs. Yellen now, always came out, Mnuchin would come out and say, okay, they are or they are not manipulating their currency. So obviously they have something they're following, they just won't tell us what it is. And so I had to assume that they had developed a channel or a range or an envelope, whatever you want to call it. But it had to be developed because how would you know if they are or not? You can look at the volume, I guess, but that's not really, I guess, it could be a combination of volume and price. But one thing's for sure, it's got to be price, because how do you measure something over or undervalued? Not if you don't use price. So that was our wild guess about a couple years ago, and it seemed to play out. And now you can see it, a whole new situation has evolved here. We don't know what the new rules are, but we can try to figure it out like we did before, and we were pretty accurate about it. And so, again, how do you measure anything that's over or undervalued? By price. So, there we go. All right. Now let's jump over to the euro. We'll see what the euro is up to. Let's see, right there. There we go. Down a little bit again today. I know we're in a daily sell. You can see it on the fact check spreadsheet on line 14. We're 1 week in a buy, but we've been underneath it all week long, and we are 2 days in a sell, as you can see right there on the sell side of that box right there. Day sell, day buy, weekly buy, weekly sell. There we are. And so let's check her out on the Chicago Quant. As you can see on the J4X, it is clear that it's telling you there is pressure. Be long, be wrong. Oh, look at that. They did. They finally challenged the bottom end of that channel range also that we've been following for over a year. As you can see here, we've got so much red. I'm not sure what I did there, but let's try to do it that way. Lots of red. Lots of red. You can see that the white fast has been most of the time underneath the slow dash. Every time it tries to get over it, it fails. So our J4X indicators are doing a fine job of giving you a good, honest direction. All right, right there you can see we went into the weekly buy last week, and right off from day one on Monday, it was deeply down like this. It's been like that all week long, just pressing down underneath the zero line, telling us that there are more sellers than buyers on a week-to-week basis, on a longer-term basis, and that's what we're seeing in the euro this morning, and that is that the euro is, feeling the pressure. Obviously, someone has lost confidence in anything but dollar at the moment. Definitely unique, that's for sure, traders. It's definitely unique. Don't know how much more to be able to say about that. All right. And from there, we jump over to the cable. See how the cable's doing this morning. That even looks weaker last time I looked at it, and that was last night. or maybe a couple hours ago I did look at it. Yeah, and you can see same situation, lots of red, busting every channel part that we expected. It has just, just gotten crushed. Like I said, there's something going on now where there is, it's dollar. Oh, look at that! It's lifting back up. It's dollar or nothing. It seems like now the cable is bouncing back up. Look at that right there. And over here, we still got the hinkies in there, red, and this is still moving down. This is a couple hour delay in the sense of accuracy versus our work, but it's the best you're going to do when you don't have our work, and it's a lot better than anything else I can invent with public tools. It's a really good system. Matter of fact, what's always funny, and I always mention it, and that is the Market Technicians Association considers my way I'm using these tools. These tools are considered what they call lagging indicators, and something like, what do they call it? MACD is considered a leading indicator. Well, this outperforms MACD every time. So these tools put together in my combination are definitely a super leading indicator. If the Market Technicians Association refers to MACD as a leading indicator, because this is always ahead of the MACD. So, and as you can see here, we are trying to turn up. You can even see it on our white line has turned. Let me just squeeze it down a little bit right there. Maybe I'll see that. There it is. Watch this. You'll see the white line just turning up a little bit. How can I tell? When it was down underneath, it's these black bars, the histograms. The histogram was turning up. They're both equal. Let me fix that. So, style. We'll widen them there like that. And so I saw right from the beginning, this histogram is a little bit higher coming up, and that one's lower. So I knew automatically that the white line is starting to curve. And so we're starting to see a little curve here. We'll see how that goes. I'm not too convinced about anything, and you can see at the same time over on line 13 right there, 1 week in a buy and 2 days in a sell. So the sell has been leading this down, but this is also just like the euro. All week long, it's been below the zero line. There's been pressure on this product all week long, and for you binary or option traders, hey Douglas, how you doing? For you option or binary traders, you can utilize just the daily. And for you hard delta or cash and spot with a stop, have a harder time using just the daily. You must combine together the weekly and the daily. So that's what it comes down to. All right, so that is the cable, and the cable is saying to us, well, they're trying to do a little bounce. Something's got them a little more excited than most, because we're not seeing that bounce anywhere else, are we? Let's just go back real quick and look. The euro, obviously not. It's lower. It's a minus. That's what the red's representing right there. And when it comes to the Swiss against the dollar, same situation. No, actually, the Swiss is trying to back off a little bit too. You see that it's minus, so it is moving down. Or now it's unchanged, so it's just literally at zero. We can see that. Interesting markets, interesting world, eh? Good morning to you, Douglas. What do you think? More fun today, eh? Yesterday was fun. Boy, the trading has been outstanding. Outstanding trading. I love it. I love it. Give it to me more. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Let it be wild and volatile. I love it. My math eats it alive. It's like candy to it. It loves it. All right. Let's jump over to, from here, what we do is we march our way over to the Turkish lira. There, line 17, where it's 2 weeks in a buy and 10 days in a buy. Boy, it came back yesterday. During the webinar, it was playing underneath the cell number there. Let's throw it up on there. Let's get it up on J4X. Right there, and this is the dollar against the Turkish lira. Still playing kind of firm above those dotted lines that we've been watching since President Erdogan had that situation where the head of the central bank right there on that wild move took off with a couple billion in cryptocurrencies. And something was going on there, and he said he was going to give them back to the population or the people that own them, and not kind of like rebel with a cause type thing. And so you can see here, it's trying. Yesterday this thing was minus for a while, but by the end of the day they brought it back up. Today you can see it's trying to roll over, but look at the weekly, so firm. Not even, where's the time manifold? Oh, yeah, the blue time manifold's right there. So it's not even challenging the time manifold, so there's not much weakness on a broader, longer term. You can see over here on J4X, tons of green, and you can see the white has been the dominant factor, fast versus the dashed slow. All right, GBP NZD doc. Sure, let's jump to it, and we'll get back to the Turkish lira afterwards. GBP NZD. Let's go find her. GBP NZD. And there's GBP JPY. I'm sure we have it in the inventory somewhere. Where are you? Where'd you go? Let's just see one, huh? GBP JPY. All right, let's change it then. Oh, you know that makes me excited. I like that. I love just going el dente. Format. There we go. And let's insert that. Now what was that? GBP NZD. Okay, there we are. Two commonwealths battling it out. I love that. And there it is right there. And then let's do it there. NZD. There we are. And close. Now, I think that line must be so tight. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Watch this. We're measuring in such minute levels. Remember, I designed this for atomic theory, so it can be awful tight. Let's see, here's the weekly. We got to expand the weekly too. And then, let's see, I think I have to do it like a reset. And it'll straighten out. There you go. So now you can see that. So in this case here, let's widen this. We'll move the lines around, which is really cool doing this, is because you can move the lines. Like I can just go like that. There's a cell. And so we'll do the very last cell, which is right there for the weekly. And then, let's see, we'll move that guy over like that, move this gal over there like that. There's your cell. So you don't take the buy here because you're in a weekly cell, unless you're trading binaries or options. And then you go back into another cell right there. So there's two winner chicken dinners. And now we are back into the buy. That's on the short term. And we can go further back if you need for any more confirmation. Oh, you can't see. I'm sorry about that. Right there. There you go. So there it is. You can see we slid into a weekly sell. It has been relatively volatile, but it's been very fascinating. And now you can see, don't pay attention to the other lines because I didn't move them around. This is the GBP JPY chart that now is GBP NZD. Same neighborhood though. Now you can see, right? So it's been two nice wins out of it all. That's been good. Let's jump down to Chicago Quant. Not Chicago Quant. Let's go to J4X and check that out. Check it out. What it is what it is. NZD, right there, right underneath it. There we are. There you go, and you can see the same situation. Lots of green. Little red there, matched up with that nicely. Then green again. There you go. This is the daily, matching up well with the Chicago Quant. How's that? A-okay? I'll take a sip of my tea, waiting for you to say yay or nay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drift back to. What am I going to drift back to? I'm going to drift back to the euro. That's what it is. So let's drift back to the euro Turkish lira. See what the action is there. And then on J4X. And if I didn't satisfy your question, just jump back in and we'll deal with whatever you want dealt with. So you can see here, that didn't do it. I know, we want to go back to Turkish lira, that's what it is. Euro Turkish lira. There we go. Euro Turkish lira. Where are you? There. And you can see here it's pressing down, like the same way with the dollar. Turkish lira. You can see it's playing with the line there that we've been watching for a long while. And you can see it didn't slip in yesterday because of the red and the green, but it is now in a daily sell at the moment. So we're going to just throw that in since it's below. Like that. And you can see there's the buy from that move there. But we're still in a weekly buy, and it's holding up really well. You see how the white line is away from the time manifold there. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. And again, that's kind of interesting to see the Turkish lira and its action. I guess they lowered rates. That's what it was. They lowered rates, and you know it's not that worse off for it. And I'm sure they don't have the do-re-mi to pay out the rates, so it makes it easier for them to just lower the rates and let the currency float a little bit. Floating currencies are a good thing, not a bad thing. When you artificially hold your currency, it's not the best of worlds. Let's put it that way. Usually it comes back to bite you somewhere along the line. All right, let's jump over to the Canadian now. We'll see what that's doing, and you can see there on the fact check spreadsheet, 1 week in a sell, 2 days in a buy. Okay, so let's check that out. Oop. Kill that right there like that. Let's go here, and let's see what's doing. Now we kind of use this as like a simple tool to what might be going on in the gold market, the oil market, and so forth. So let's just check that out. Usually when this currency is going down against the dollar, which means it's gaining value, it usually says that the gold is weak. Going down. Now gold is strong, oil could be a little weak, you know, that type of thing. In this case here, you can see it's trying to push up the last couple days. You got 2 greens there. You see the white line piercing through. And then we'll check it out over here. And you can see it's moving down just a little bit, so there's a little strength there. You would think that the gold is probably unchanged, maybe. Something like that. Maybe even up a little bit for the day. And crude oil could be doing the same thing. So now what we do is we go from here, we drift over into the commodity world and take a peek just real quick. Because commodities are currencies too, you know. So there is crude oil, just down a little bit. We were expecting to see it up, but we fell into that daily sell the last couple of days, and you can see it's pressuring itself down. And we'll come back to that and show you the J4X side of it when we go back to this sector after we get done the currencies. And then looking at Mr. and Mrs. Gold, right there. It's trying to lift up a little bit. That kind of makes some sense looking at the way the Canadian's moving. But you can see we've been in the underneath all week long. It was systemic everywhere. There are so many products that went into daily buys, weekly buys last week, and it just rolled right over on Monday, which was really wild. As I said, mine too. It was in the currency arena. It was in the commodities arena. It was in the stock market arena. I mean, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. It happened. It was really wild. And what that means to me is just the markets were thin, and now the players are coming back in from the end of the summer, and that's what that's kind of telling me is we got a full house. That's what it says to me. People are paying attention now. All right, from those two, we jump back over to the South African Rand. Let's see where that is. We don't cover it on the spreadsheet, but we'll take a look at it here. There, ZAR. I'll put it up on this at the same time. ZAR. There it is. As you can see, the white fast line has been above for a while, and it has been going up. You see that hinky going up too at the same time on a daily basis. On the, did you do that? We got the same thing going on here. We got it up to here, got into a daily sell just one day, and then turned around and moved back up. Now also, the weekly has been relatively firm of the downside since up in here. So we had this nice slide, and now we finally reached back in here. The daily has protected the shorts, of course, and so it's not that bad a thing. So it was one big winner chicken dinner, and after that it's almost been nothing. Couldn't get the sell that week. I mean, just a very short-term thing, if anything, because we were starting to dive down, and we did go into the weekly, but the next day it jumped right back into the buy again, and you can see that it did not damage you more than this wonderful ride like there. So you know, and it's showing the strength, and now we're moving into the weekly buy here, as you can see, which is not probably a good sign for the metals complex. All right, from there we go to ruble right there, and you can see the ruble has been hovering in that long. Now that we do have up on the fact check spreadsheet. 7 weeks in a sell and 1 day in a buy. And we're seeing more strength there. Actually, it's 2 days in a buy, not one. Let's fix that. Oop, no, I blew that up, didn't I? Don't let that escape. Alright, now we gotta go with USD. I gotta type that back in again. USD / rub. There we are. And so let's put the 2 in there. Must have missed that. There we are. As you can see here, it was above there. It was a plus. So this is 2 days into it. This is going on a 3rd day. And the weekly kind of anemic. You can see how it almost adheres to the 0 line. You know, it's underneath it, of course, but it's not too explosive. And over here, you can see, let's put it up on J4X right there. It's kind of been oscillating in and out. You know, it's that like a wave that's trying to dampen. All right. What else have we got going on here? I guess that's about it for the ruble. What we do now is we jump over to the Japanese yen. Whoa, what did I do there? I pushed the wrong button. There we are. So let's go to the yen, dollar yen, right there. And over here, we'll put it up on there. Dollar yen. There you go. And you can see, you know, it's been moving up since the daily buy there. And you can see we're in a weekly buy for a couple weeks. That's line 18 right there. 2 weeks in a buy, 5 days in a buy. So the pressure has been on the upside everywhere. And you can see here on the J4X, look at that. You know, just hinkies heading north and fast moving well beyond the slow. So that's pretty cool. All right, where do we go from here? Last but not least, the Mexican peso. Just, you know, seen that John Wayne movie too many times as a kid, and that song just sits in my head the moment I say Mexican peso. All right, that was the music to the movie. And remember, we are the singing trader. Right there, there's Mexican dollar Mexican pairs trade. A little pressure on it again today, but not like that move from the last couple days. We don't follow that on the spreadsheet, but you can see the hinky has been moving up for 2, 3, 4, going on a 5th day. You see the fast has been moving up for about 4 days. And over here on Chicago, it is, let's widen that so we can get a grasp on it. The weekly, someone must have asked us to look at an RSI against it. We've left that up there. There's the RSI if you care. And you can see here we went into a weekly buy, went into a weekly sell, now we're climbing back into a weekly buy, and it looks like we are making a move towards challenging the 2 black circles, which we'll show you in a few seconds. And you can see here we've been in a daily buy since right here. So that's 2 full days. 3 days total now. 3 days in a buy, but it's not going anywhere today. And then let's scrunch this puppy. And we've been watching those 2 circles, and it seems taking out those highs. So we're looking to see now if it's going to go take out that high. All right. And so we've come to our Forex conclusion. Glad to do more if anybody cares. And what we will do is we will start to move over to the commodities now, like gold and silver and platinum and natural gas and unleaded and sweet this or that and the other thing. So now we drift into those directions. But traders, remember, if you see something you want to look at in the currency arena, we can go right back to it. There is no problem about that, because this is a currency webinar and a commodity webinar, since commodities have become currencies. That came out pretty clear, didn't it? Okay, good. All right, so we go over to, let's take a look at crude oil to start off with. A little bit closer than before. Right there. Light, sweet Texas crude. Sounds like something we could eat with popcorn. Yum. Let's put some crude in our popcorn. Anybody ever put those, those something balls, or like chocolate and caramels, drop them into your bucket of popcorn at a movie theater? Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, and so let's jump over to the commodity there. And let's put crude oil up on there like so. And as you can see, we've been sliding for the last couple of days. It actually looks like the sell really began there. We've never really adjusted that. I'm just going to let it be. It hasn't really fallen that far, but you can see how the green line is cleanly far away from the time manifold right there, the little yellowish time manifold there. And you can see the white histograms are above the time manifold too, so there's a lot of strength in this product. They're not exactly getting paranoid and starting to sell it, that's for sure. All right, and as you can see over on J4X, where's that mouse at again? You can see right there, the fast has broken below the slow, and we're developing a red hinky right there. Now we jump over to natural gas right there, and it's making a comeback from yesterday's little sell-off. And we do have that on the fact check spreadsheet. Where is that? That is like line 10. We are 5 weeks in a buy. We don't pay attention to the daily on the fact check. Just so much I'm willing to put in, because I have to do it manually. So the more things I do, the less accurate something can be once in a while, like the way crude is really reflecting. As you can see, where's crude at? Crude is reflecting 1 day in a sell where it really should be 2. There we go. And this is going on the 3rd day or a 2nd day, take your choice. See, so there is the nat gas, and you can see it's trying to roll over again. We're getting a red there. Let's check it out on our work there, right there. There it is. There's nat gas. It's holding up. No, it's not. It's falling over again. Let's remove that. It was this morning. It was making a nice little push on the upside. Let's give it a refresh. Yeah. Okay. So the histogram had started to lift up, but and now we have a red and a green, and it's broken back down again. And you can see the weekly's not having issues whatsoever. It does not care. So we went into the sell here and gave you a little profit there overnight, and now it's trying to lift up, but we got this minus, so maybe we'll see another rollover going on when it comes to that. And at the same time on J4X, you can see the pressure is on the downside now. So if you're long, you could be wrong on a very short-term basis. Overall, on a weekly basis, it is, bedtime for Bonzo. If you're short, you're going to be in trouble on a longer-term trend of the weeks. All right, now we jump back over to, that's the 2 commodities energies we follow. Let's jump over to the metals complex right there. And you can see gold is trying to lift up, and the daily is trying to lift up. but our weekly is still buried. We're going to give it a quick little refresh. Quick little refresh. Let's try that one more time. There we are. And so you can see it's doing some positive stuff there. Over on J4X, in the gold complex right there, doing the same thing. You can see the strength. And we may be even seeing a green hinky. And it pops up, see. Now I have a red dot. Chances are we're not even seeing the green hinky. There we go. It's, and the white line is still having a little pressure there. It's having its issues. Whereas over here we do see it breaking time manifold and starting to lift. We just need to get through that. If we took out the highs today, maybe a little bit higher, maybe $2 to $3 higher, it might turn that into a buy for the day. Interesting. All right, another sip of the old tea. Now, let's take a look at silver. Oh, and let's go to the fact check. 1 week in a buy, and it's already rolled over, and 11 days in a sell. So it's been a lot of pressure, just like the hinkies are telling you. Lots of pressure there. Now let's jump over to silver. And there it is right there. Silver, you can see it's trying to lift up very well from the 50 to the 70 here. Hinkies haven't switched yet, and the white line hasn't switched yet. Give it some time. Like I said, it's a couple hours behind our work. And then, right there, yeah, right there. And you can see our work is, what's it trying to do there? The weekly looks disastrous, and you can see it on line 9. 20 weeks now in a sell and 1 day in a sell. It's trying to lift, but I got red just like J4X does. And at the same time, the histogram is trying to turn up. Let's widen that a little bit and show you what's going on there. You can see it's trying to turn up. It's trying. That's the key word there is try. How many times have we seen this product try to go bullish? Lasts for a couple days at best, and then you can see it just rolls over. We did have it a few months back. I guess it was back in August. You see we got into a daily buy. I think our weekly almost touched through at one point. And we had like 3 or 4 days of strength, and then we started getting weakness, and then we had some wild spike. And, it might have beat up some of our traders. And then, let's see what was next out of that whole circus act. Then what happened was it went into the daily sell and gave you all the money back that you lost. And it tried to jump up again, and I think I remember the front month contract going into the sell and catching this move. So this is a back month, so the pairs didn't match up very well. Remember, these futures contracts changed. This is a December futures contract. Up until a couple of weeks ago, we were following the October or September contract? I think it was a September contract. So 3 or 4 weeks ago, we switched. And it did catch this September, but in this back month, it did not, that's for sure. All right, so that's where we are now with silver. Silver just cannot get off its back, and this is the front month now. And you can see the histogram. This could, this is, you know how they like to say hope is eternal? This could mean something. Notice when the histogram breaks the time manifold, when being in the minus and breaking like some of the lows, this thing is getting close. If this ends up like this and next week we get a jump like that, we might get some strength out of this for a week. It could be, but then look what happened afterwards. It rolled over. In this case here, let's widen that out and show you. Where was that? That was right there. Let's widen it one more time and we'll show you. The math caught it back then, but and we don't know what the front month back then looked like, but it took a couple days. It went into the sell there after trying to jump, and you had the gap and all that stuff. And then, it broke down, and it broke down hard. It broke down from like, what was that 26 or 28? Yeah, it broke down from the 20 low Low 26 down to the low 23s. Is that 23.34? 20, yeah, 23.03. So it dropped almost $3. Ow! In less than a week and a half. You know, I was like, crash city. Let's see. Douglas says ETF, EWZ, Doc. Okay, let's check that out. I'm glad you reminded me. I have a few things I want to. What do I want to do over there? Let's open. Put that in like so. There we go. I want to see. Tags has been really pitiful, and the commodities moving so nice too. But they, and you know, they're not really trading that active at the moment. So there's tags. There's the 29th. You can see there's tags. Let's see which one do we. I want to save that while we're here. Tags. Tags. You're in. There's tags. It doesn't even want to update. I hate that. You know, it's not giving us early markets. Same thing. Okay, so that is, see, DBA is, I want to save that, but look at that, it's flirting with a sell at the same time. We have to put a little warning sign in there for the trader. Like that. Closes like that today, it could be pressure. At the same time, you can see that's in a weekly sell. Oop. Now let's save that. I just needed to save these three. I'm glad you reminded me. And we try to give them better up to date before the markets open. And so we try to drag our feet on this. Let's do that. DBA. And then last one was, what was that last one? Russell 2000, there it is. And that's, you know, in a sell, and there's no problem there, and you can see the weekly there. All right. And let's see that. Now that's a very up-to-date product there. There's no doubt about that. You can trade that all the time. That's definitely a good one. And then now let's find your EWZ. Oh, what we did, we looked at DAX yesterday for you. That's what it was. So there's DAX, and the pressure's on there. Let's see what EWZ looks like. EWZ. Okay, there we are. And EWZ again. EWZ. Thank you for reminding me, Douglas. This is good. Let's close that. And you can see went into a daily. Let's widen it out a little bit. It's been in that weekly sell since up in here. You can see it fell into the daily sell there, but has done nothing for you. Nothing at all. Compared to the first time when it went into a sell. Wow. You know, it went into the sell. Where was it? Oh, I can get rid of that green. Like that. It went into the sell there. And there's the sell there. Boy, was that a winner bunch of chicken dinners. So it went into the sell up in here, and then it went closed in the weekly sell here. It took a couple days, and then it really rolled over. If you're trading options in this or binaries, this must be fun. There's no doubt about that. Because you can put that position on and not get stopped out, and then it gives it to you. Sometimes it can happen overnight. Sometimes it can happen 3 or 4 days later. But that's the nice part of not getting stopped out, you know. And so there's your EWZ. Can you see that? No. You cannot see that. Let's see. Where's it at? Where'd it go? I got to put that up there. That's what it is. Let's see. There it is. So there's your EWZ. And so that's the action right there. What else can we say about that? You can see I think we've been in a sell for a while. It's actually, now that when we scroll that back, we've been in a sell all the way back to, not there, maybe not even there. We've been in a sell in that product for a while. EWZ. Let me just move that even more. Where did the sell begin in that thing? Wow. Let's scrunch that up a little bit more, but okay. That buy is not there either. So this thing's been in a sell since here, since the 40-ish area, 41-ish area, okay? And we can take that green and move it down. So we've been in a sell in that product since July. Wow, that's a long time. Let's move that over. I hope every time you've asked me you're actually trading it. That would be fantastic. Right there's a buy. You can see that. Kept you out of that short. You're short in this whole thing. Where'd you go in the short there? Let's see that. So you went into the short here, and it catches that whole ride. There's another one from 38 down to 34. That's a nice winner chicken dinner. You can't see, can you see now? So that's been a really good product to trade. That's been really cool. I hope that you've had a good chance with that, because that EWZ has been doing a fine job of making money. Any comments about that? I'll have to look that up. I forget what that is. I don't remember what it is. EWZ. Is that a British thing? Could that be the British pound? Not pound. British footsie could be could be that maybe. I'm gonna go look it up because now you have my curiosity. I look at some of this stuff, and that's one of the great reasons why I like everybody asking questions, because you never know when you're going to find something that you just weren't looking for, and that is really what you've just done. You've turned us on to something that is well worth paying attention to because it tracks well in the math. And it's a low-priced product. You can trade a lot of it. That's usually a nice thing, lots of it. It's accurate and lots of it. That is something we all dream of. Oh, it's the Brazilian thing. Okay, yeah. Isn't that weird? I can't get the real. I hate that. I hate those misas to pieces. I would love to trade the real. The real's, because it's such a wild creature. And every time I look it up trying to get a symbol for the real, they say stuff like you need to go to EWZ. So I guess that's a classic where you have an indice. Is that an indice, or is that the EWZ is the only thing that trades? I guess that's what it is. That is cool. Yeah, this thing's been in a weekly sell forever. And it's trading in the 32.5 area from the 42-ish area. Wow. 32 to 42? So you're talking a 25% drop. Yowzer. That is so cool. And you imagine if you're just taking all our sells and nothing else. Like you got that short right there. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to play with a white line too, just for the fun of it now. Now you got Doc interested in this, that's for sure. Solid. And all the way. So you're in the weekly sell. So there's another trade that's another winner chicken dinner. And then it goes into the buy there, so you're not short. And it goes into a short here. You lose a few dinero there. And you're covered. And then it goes into a short here again. And you take all this ride all the way down to right there. That's another big win. So there's 2 out of 3, but they're really super good ones. And then let's move it over again. And then let's see, covers tells you to be not short, so you're standing to the side. And it does it again right there. You go in a short, and it's another winner chicken dinner, and dozens of chicken dinners for free. Yeah. And then tells you to cover there, and now we're back into the short again. Interesting. It does that little sloppy thing, Can you see that? That's good. I just looked over to make sure you could see it. That's it. That's the only you can get. Wow. I'll tell you, it's a great tool. It's a great tool. And what are they doing? They're trading it. Look at it. It's active. It's showing a good up-to-date. It's trading right now, and we're not open yet. We still have 11 minutes to open up. So that's been a fun one. That is so cool. All right, Douglas, thank you for turning us on to something that may need to fall into my nomenclature. Definitely. Because that's a little hot honey there. Cool. And that's all the way back into what, June or July? When did that sell start? In May, July. Look at the weekly buy. That was pretty cool. Check that out. Goes into the weekly buy here in the low 30s where we're at now. And did it drive it up to 42? Wow. This thing's pretty clockwork, isn't it? That's pretty neat. We're going to have to pay attention to that. Thank you. I'm afraid of a pullback. Well, let's see, where are we at right now? Yeah, so we're in a weekly sell. Of course you should be. You should be deeply concerned about a pullback. You mean upside pullback? Well, just wait until we get into a daily buy, or the weekly starts to turn up. Either one of those. Look how far down it is now. Last time it was far down like that. Look at that. It turned up. Last time again there, turned up. So we are at that point. You do need to be concerned about a move up on the upside again. And let's see. That's at the 1 minus, right? Now it's almost at the 2 minus. That's a lot in this product. Let's go back and see historically. Let's see if we can find anything in there. It has broken the 2 side on the upside there, just a little bit. It seems to stall out in the 2 area. Let's see if we can find something down below. What's that? Oop. Who are you? Look at that. It busted all the way down into the 4s on this sell-off. Back in February of this year? No, that's February of last year. Wow. So it goes into the weekly sell here in February, stays in it, and there's your sell. You make that. That's a nice win. There's another nice win. There's another nice win. The moves up are very small when we're in weekly sells. This thing goes down to 4. Look at that. Beyond 4. And we go from the 45-ish, 46 area down to the 20 area? That's a 50% drop. Holy moly. This thing has got guns blazing. Definitely well worth looking into. Cool. Very cool stuff. I think I might consider pulling something off of the spreadsheet and putting this in. This thing's well worth paying attention to. Yowzer. Down into the 4s in was that March of 2000, right? Oh, okay, so that was the COVID scare. Yeah, so that's March of 2020. Wow. They crushed that product 50%, over 50%. It does trend. When it gets into an uptrend, it lasts for weeks upon weeks. Look at that. Now, this wasn't too good. Look at that. It goes into the weekly buy here. You get a nice super duper win from the 26 to the 34 area. Yeah, 34 area. So it's an 8-point move in 2 weeks. Then it gets real sloppy. You get into your daily here, and you can't take the shorts because you're long. The math is telling you not to take shorts. So, and it pretty much keeps you out of the market most of this whole distance here. What is that? There's a buy. It goes up, and then you get out. You make some money or break even, but you've got this major win, so you're trying not to give your money away. It goes right back into the sell again, so you can't take it again because we're in a weekly buy, and then you get the buy signal here. You catch that move, and then it goes into the sell right there. It's a little move, good move, but it's an easy move. Let's put it that way. And then you go into the sell for just a week, then back into the buy again. You might chop up a little bit of profits. Hard to say. And then it goes. You get another one. Look at it. Whatever profits you gave up, it's another winner that takes care of all the profits because it makes a 4-point move. So that's pretty impressive. Very impressive. What else can we say about that? That's where I was screaming V bottom over and over and over again. I don't know. This is a pretty hot cookie. This is a good product to trade. Alrighty, where else are we at? Oh God, 24 after. Okay, so we've 25. Okay, so we got about 3 or 4 minutes to go. I think I might put this in as something that we should talk about more often. Hey, 47, what you got going? Yo, Doc, can you take a quick look at GBP? Isn't that the one I just changed? That's funny. Okay, let's go find GBP JPY. That's right, we were looking at NASDAQ, New Zealand, Kiwi, we were going Kiwi. Let's go find that for you. And let me close this at the same time. I'm going to save this like that. Close workspace. There we go. And let's go over and check her out. GBP. Let's see. I think we may need to change it on something else and keep both of those GBPs for you guys. Where's it at? GBP. There. Oh, there it is. GBP. No, that's Euro JPY. Let's move that. Let's change that. No one's asking for that. This way we can keep it. There we go. GBP. There we go. And GBP again. There we go. And to make it simple, there it is. And then, so what we got going on there is, we'll have to clean that up a little bit, but that's no problem. Let's grab that greenie and move it there. So that's the buy right there. And we were in a buy right there, so you catch some of this action right there. There's your sell 3 days ago, and we're flirting with a weekly sell. We've been in a weekly sell. Let's see. There it goes. We went to the weekly sell here. So the first sell was there, gave you a little win, then it jumped back up. You're not losing on these, so that's all right. Then let's see if this gives you all your money back. Is it right there? There it is. So that gives you all your money back from whatever you might have lost there. And then it goes into a buy. You can't take the buy. Let's put that in. Why? Because we're in a sell. That's why. And then we go right back into a sell. Okay, this is cool. Check this out. This gives you another winner chicken dinner over a 2-day period. Look at that. Yum yum. Then we get into another buy. You can't take that, of course, but you don't have to be short. So that's cool. All comes to money management at that point, trading management. And then you go into a sell right there, and oh my goodness, they buy you a whole dinner for 10 in chicken dinners. Another nice win again. And then let's throw this in right there. And if you haven't taken your profits out of that whole move and locked in, so that it covers somewheres in here, then you don't belong in trading. Because you've got to take, if you don't take profits when you're trading, you can't make money. Then you get another sell here. It's a weak one, just a little one there, but it's still a win if you do your work right. Then there's your next sell. Oh, a blind man could make money on that one. You could be the worst trader in the world and still make money on it. And then, let's see, there's a buy. We don't pay attention to that because, again, traders, remember, we're in a weekly sell. And then there's your next sell right up in here. Wow, that protects you. That whole big move up, that protects you. And then right there's your next sell. Which product is this? GBP, JPY. Interesting. Trades well, doesn't it? This one's a little sloppy in the sense of you make money and it looks pretty easy to make money, but for over a couple of days, but it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, you're falling from, what is that, 152.02 to the low of 151.42. What's that? Half a point, half a handle, something like that. And then it tries to get back into the buy here. And then let's do this. This goes like that. Okay. So you're not taking the long, of course, because why? We're in sells again, right? Remember, traders. And then this one, almost a blind man can make money on this one. It does hesitate a little bit in there, but not bad. You're short from the 51.48 area, and it falls down to 50.83. So it's like 3/4 of a point, still underneath where, it's still here. It shakes you up a little bit. You might get stopped out depending on if you're using binaries, calls, or puts, and then again it's still in a sell at the end of this day. So you would make all this. I mean, this whole thing right there. This could be a little challenging just because of that little pop there, but overall you should have made money out of that too, a lot or some, one or the other. And then you get your buy here protecting you. And then it closes in a buy, so you end up long here, catch that little ride, and then it goes into the sell there, and it's been a decent little profit there. All right, that is it. Oh, and I'm glad no one said, Doc, I can't see. That's a good thing. Doc didn't screw that one up. All right, this is Doc from North America. Tomorrow's TGIF, which will be, thank goodness, it's the end of the week. It's Friday. And we will catch you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Happy trails to you. Until we meet again. Happy trails to you. To all my cowboy trading friends and cowgirls. All right. Cha-cha for now. Cha-cha.